The cops show up. He's got the gun, and I don't know how many police were there all together, and they're telling him to drop the weapon. He doesn't. So as soon as he makes any move up with that gun, and the cops are around him, they're going to shoot him. And they did. And he died, right? So you would seem like people give some time as to figure out why or who he was. But this is a pretty open and shut case. That if you have a gun and you're giving a direct order to drop the gun and you don't drop the gun and you give any kind of movement in any way towards a police officer, they're going to shoot you. And they shot this guy numerous times. All right? So then you get some protesters showing up. Do they know anything?
The police can justify his murder because he was black, homeless, and had mental health issues. What he needed was help.
911 callers reported a shirtless man was walking and waving a gun near the Othello station. Organizers of the event demanding to know the man's name and to fire those officers who took the deadly shots.
We need to know who the officers were that shot him and endangered the entire community, because if we don't know, then they're just going to continue to shoot up more neighborhoods. They're going to endanger more people.
Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes.
Okay. Last number I've gotten, we'll get to the rest of the thing in a second. So the Washington Post, starting in 2025, decided they're going to keep track data of every single time a police officer shoots somebody, and they give you a whole bunch of things you can do. So you can do by every year, then you can do what age the person was, under 18, all the way up to 45 plus. Then you can put in race. White, black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, other, unknown. You can put in gender. You got a whole bunch of different genders in there. Mental illness crisis or not. Fleeing the scene or not. You put it all in there. You're going to put in armed or unarmed, replica, undetermined, unknown, and then fleeing the scene. It's a little thing. You pop them all in there, and it gives you the total, according to the Washington Post, when they call around all the police departments. So I looked up 2024. 2024, armed white, shot and killed by police. Anybody have any guess? Armed white people shot and killed by police. 2024. Guess anybody? Anybody?
Nationwide.
Yep, across the United States. Is armed.
How many?
Yeah.
25.
10.
Wow. 334. This is all across the United States. In the state of Washington, 17 people have been shot and killed by police. Okay? So this is all in 2024. Unarmed or armed black men, 2024, 227. Unarmed, 11 black shot and killed by police in 2024. And then white, unarmed, shot and killed by police, 6. So 17. So 17 unarmed people, black and white combined, shot and killed by police. That's unarmed. But included in that number sometimes is they could possibly be wrestling to try to get the gun from the cop. That's part of it. Plus also they may be in a car. They don't include that. But that's basically the numbers that the Washington Post has been doing since 2015. They stopped doing it. I don't know why they did. But they've stopped doing it. But you can look at the detailed thing. So this guy thinks that this activist, whoever this person is, thinking that the police, we need to know who they are. We need to get them fired because if not, they're going to be...
Because if we don't know, then they're just going to continue to shoot up more neighborhoods. They're going to endanger more people.
Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes claiming the man had pointed a gun at an officer. But protesters say...
A dozen shots with an assault rifle is overkill.
Arguing...
Overkill? Okay.
That bullets
Why are we even
whizzed
playing
in
these
multiple...
people, Joe, you're just trying to get me upset. But by playing poorly informed individuals on the radio, but we'll keep going. We have 33 more seconds.
Directions, and even into a nearby building, leaving a man minorly injured by broken glass.
My son was coming from school, and that bothers me as a mother.
Our people are dying.
Imijah Smith, homegrown in Central and South Seattle, says she knows that police are needed, but so is trust with the community.
We're already concerned about some of the stuff that's happening, crime. How are we going to feel safe with our police also?
Also asking for trauma support for the shooting that exposed an entire block to violence.
I care about our city. I care about our communities. I really care about our families.
Oh, my God.
By the way, so the protest was organized by the Seattle Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression.
Okay, right. So how many of the police officers were racist, do we know?
Unclear at this time.
Yeah, how many? Do we need to get the color of all the cops that are in there? We'll assume the white cops are racist, right? That's a given.
Sure.
And then occasionally you get a couple Asian cops, they may be racist too. Here's the sad thing for people that are shot and killed in that particular part of Seattle, or just the entire state of Washington. I think the total number of homicides is like 237 already for this year. You don't see these people out there when they are zipping up a 20-year-old person into a body bag and taking them off in the morgue, or that kid that was killed over at Garfield. Parents still don't know. They're not out there protesting that. You don't see them marching around and calling for justice or somebody to be fired or somebody to be held accountable or somebody to go to the jail. When it's a citizen, just a kid that shoots another kid, yeah, they might be involved in gangs and stuff, but still it's getting an 18-year-old or a 17-year-old shoots another 17-year-old or somebody else. It doesn't really matter the age, doesn't matter where the race is, but it's always like, oh, it's about the cops. The guy's got a gun. Now, whether obviously mentally ill, no shirt on, got a gun, the cops are telling him, drop it. Is this death by cop? Suicide by cop? That happens. Some people do that. They don't have whatever it takes in order to put the gun to their own head, and they just pull the gun up and hold it close enough to a police officer, and then that cop has to make the deadly choice to shoot or kill, to shoot and kill somebody. But this is like they're putting their life on the line. The fact that they shot the guy 20 times. I mean, how many times you want him to be shot? 5? Just 5 times? Is that okay for you? Okay, if somebody's got a gun, you're only allowed to discharge your weapon 5 times. And that they hit him with an assault rifle. I mean, again, it's silly. But the saddest part of it is, are the people that lose their kids to some other stupid kid who's involved in this type of violence, and no one goes to that person. You don't hear anybody supporting them. Their names are not important. You only say the names, remember the names when it's a kid or a guy and he's black and he's shot by a white cop. Say their names. But everybody else is completely invisible because none of them need to be used for some political purposes, when really you're just using different incidents, different violent interactions with a police officer, an individual, because you're going to be able to make money off of it somehow, because somehow you're an activist and you're going to be able to get your way somehow by exploiting it. They don't even know who the guy is or anything, and already they're calling for the cops to be fired. Shouldn't even don't give them the time of day, Como News. Don't do that. Why? What do we learn from that? The community is outraged. The community isn't there when somebody else who's just somebody that's caught in the crossfire. They can't even name them. Don't even know who they are. Doesn't matter. But, cops shoot somebody. The guy had a gun. He's pointing the gun at the cops. That's pretty much going to be the end of the story. And by the way, those police officers that pull those guns and have to shoot those people, a lot of them need a lot of help. You don't hear about that. They don't want to kill somebody. They don't want to pull the gun. They don't want to pull the trigger. You don't think they're bothered by it as well? Do you think there's just some heartless machine that just walks around beating people up or just randomly shooting people? A lot of these cops go home at the end of the day and they bring home all that trauma with them. They're taking the life of another human being. Most cops never pull their guns. I got a bunch of friends who cop. You ever had to pull your gun? No, thank God. Thank God I've never had to pull my gun. These are human beings as well. You are removing the humanity, the individuals that are out there willing to risk their life for you, and you discharge them because you just look at the color of their skin, because this is a racist view, isn't it? You look at their color of their skin and then you assume a particular behavior based upon the color of their skin. That's racism by the definition. So these people that are out there saying, well, these white cops are shooting these black guys and they don't care because they're all racist or something. You don't think, what about them as a human being? By the way, a lot of those cops are involved in these shootings. One of the other things they do is not only they go on administrative leave and they wait while the investigation's going on, they're given counseling. Yeah, shoot another human being. And what you think that, again, oh my God, this sort of stuff that really bugs me.
Well, and I don't think, I know.
You played the stupid thing, Joe, so I would get upset about it. That's what you did. You're poking at me. You're poking at me like a dog.
Well, I think if Como said that the community was outraged, I don't know that that's necessarily accurate. I know that the Seattle Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression were outraged, and there was about 12 of them there. So I think that
gives you some idea. Yeah,
but they don't even know who the
political
cops are.
Oppression, racism, and political oppression. What politics are they being oppressed? Who's oppressing their politics? Anyway, go ahead.
Well, they don't even know the name of the cops, let alone what race.
No, but I mean, they shot some guy, and if they're white,
it.
they're guilty, and the black guy is innocent because the black guy's innocent, and oppression, and blah blah blah, garbage. Let's just get 12 people that have nothing else to do, get out there and march around and think they're going to fix something. Why don't you sign up for an organization, some volunteer organization that actually helps people who have lost loved ones to to somebody with a gun? There are different groups. You could go and you could volunteer for those groups. You could provide counseling and support, or you could give them money and they help these people. Because it's a pretty horrible life that you have to leave after you lose somebody. Again, I'm trying to remember the name of the parents that are still trying to figure out who killed their kid over there at Garfield. There are no answers on that sort of stuff. And again,
dozens of witnesses, but no answers.
Nobody wants to say anything. Developing trust between the police and the community. Well, you certainly don't develop any trust between the police and the community when you already assume that there was ill intent by the police officers that were on scene. You start disadvantaging the person. So you're not creating trust by assuming that this person has acted in a way that is immoral or unlawful. You want to develop trust. It's an open hand. Both people extend open hands. That's where the trust begins. Not you hold back and you've got your arms crossed and you've got your head cocked to one side as you're accusing somebody. Prove to me that you're not racist. Prove to me that you care. Prove. That's not how trust works. They don't develop trust between a community by assuming that one group is that one group, not an individual, that the group somehow is working to the disadvantage of you. That's not how it works.
Well, and somebody in the community called 911 to say, hey, there's a guy with a gun, and he's pointing at everybody.
Listen, in a situation like that, people aren't like, well, it's a guy. Well, what color is he?
Right.
Absolutely not. People use these things to their advantage, to pull people apart all the time. And once you create that separation, it's this group against that group, then that's when people can come in there and really start to make some money. That's when you make money, because then all of a sudden, well, we got this problem because this one group's against this other group, and we need to raise funds to be able to fight this other group. So start writing some checks. So I need to buy some houses. Black Lives Matter organization. That woman, man, her and her friends, they did really well in the real estate business. Did they serve anybody? Did anybody get helped? Did anyone ever reduce the number of kids killing each other? Is the homicide rate still high in the black community? Yeah, unfortunately. And what did they do? I've seen people say that, it said, well, they came to me and they said, could we please use images of your son? And they said, yes, you can. And then they never got anything from it. They never got any support from it. People just, again, they whatever the situation is, and it happens not only with police shootings and black and white, but it happens with left and right. It happens with, Trump's a horrible person and the immigrants, we need to save them. Or there's immigrant organizations that try to help them, but they go after Trump and Trump comes after them. And there's this constant back and forth, this fighting over this stuff. But it is the reduction of the human being to reduce the humanity of the human being of who they are. Who they are. You put them in a box in race, or you put them in a box for age, or you put them in a box where they came from. And once you put them in that box, you can do whatever you want with them. Just move them around, ignore them. Just no humanity. Look them in the eye. See them for who they are without all your prejudice involved.